Чом ти не прийшов, як місяць зійшов, я тебе чекала.
Пошли.
Чи коня не мав, чи стежки не знав, мати не пускала. Чи коня не мав, чи стежки не знав, мати не пускала. І коня я мав, і стежку я знав, і мати
Молодці.
пускала. Найменша сестра, бодай не зросла, сідельце сховала. Найменша сестра, бодай не зросла, сідельце сховала.
Уже отвернулись.
А старша сестра сідельце знайшла, коня осідлала. Поїдь, братику, до дівчиноньки, що тебе чекала. Поїдь, братику, до дівчиноньки, що тебе чекала.
И медленно отворачиваемся.
Тече річенька, невеличенька, перескочу.
И пошли.
Віддайте мене, моя матінко, за кого я схочу. Віддайте мене, моя матінко, за кого я схочу.
We take this play from Shakespeare about these two families of Romeo and Juliet, and in fact, it's a bit how can I say, in the situation we are in right now, because these two families can't get to each other, and it's very difficult to understand each other. But they are two youngsters, Romeo and Julia, and they're in love with each other, and they try to get together and talk to each other and try to feel their love. But in fact, it's not possible because of the boundaries between the families on the one hand and the rules that the families have set up. And in this case, it's very touching that we see that there are young people who are willing to cross the boundaries of a language, for example, or the boundaries of two different countries, or also the boundaries of staying at home and can't get to another person in this Corona crisis. This is, I guess, really very strong content for these times, and therefore really touching if you see the youngsters performing in very old text by William Shakespeare, playing their own, how can I say, their own lives in a way, or their own conflicts concerning this situation right now.
I totally agree with Mikhail. Yes, the concept that we have boundaries on several levels, on personal levels. Yeah, like one person can't physically reach another person. Second, boundaries on the level of families, because if you live in one flat, it doesn't 100% means that you have connections. The level between families and the level between countries, nations. Yeah. So from boundaries, we go to the point about relationship. So in some way, the key messages could be that we talk about we ask audience and we ask personal team and itself who we are and what meaning other person has to us nowadays. And the story Romeo and Juliet gives some keys to us, this proposition to have this adventure, to this myth, this story that created by Shakespeare many years ago. But at the same time, today we see that we feel the same. We have, in our new context with pandemia, it's really a story about belief. All of us still continue believe and try to find this energy and power of hope. So we need lessons, we need some right dialogue, right questions to how to be together in this time of great impact.
When we prepared in a way the concept and how we how we set up, developed a certain setup for this performance, we already decided to create a certain, how can I say, a virtual bridge between Mariupol and Dortmund. And that means the former concept was not to perform with two different groups of pupils in one room, but in two rooms. But this was the former concept. And these two different groups in Mariupol and Dortmund should have been, how can I say, connected with a or in the framework of a virtual communication platform. But it was not so easy. And then the pandemic comes, and we had to decide how can we rehearse in another way. So we decided what could a new digital tool for the rehearsals could be, and decided, well, let's try Zoom, for example, and try out how in this very private communication platform, a very intimate process of rehearsals could happen, could be well, a good approach to this project. And we figured out that it was in fact very helpful in a way, because the youngsters could see much more from each other than to the former concept. So that means, in a way, this pandemic helps us a bit to develop our former concept to a new one.
Corona came, and all our teams came to the crossroads. What to do? Stop the project, delay, postpone it, or find some maybe new strange solution. What we could do with our previous experience, and how we could create a new prototype with the aim to give example how cultural projects could exist in the future. Not opposite like physical performance on the stage or digital only, but how offline and online story ideology could be connected. From other side, we could say that it's like laboratory. We're really very focused for process, how behavior of the actor, in this case children, change from stage to their houses, how they change their behavior when they start to work with the camera, even their own devices, how director start to change their optic and instruments to create a new product, and how we as a producer reload the process, and how we were looking for find new solutions to continue this work.
Сейчас подготовьтесь к колбасе. Поехали! Теперь берем телефоны и давай! Теперь предлагаю упасть на пол. Все, и таки лежите, мэр, уставший. Упала Вероника, Сережа, Илья, Денис. Таня упала. Таня! Даша, начни
In some way, I could say that this process, which is maybe more important than final product in our limited frame time, it's more about social approach and social value which it brings to connected people, and to give a new tools to continue dialogue, discussion and process.
We get the feeling that the world is getting much more smaller than beforehand, because it's very easy to get in contact with pupils, for example, from Mariupol or from Kiev, and get to know each other in a very intimate way. We have a very intimate private look on the private homes, for example. We know how they act at home, and therefore the pupils know each other very well at this point of time, and get much more in contact than beforehand. And now, I guess what is very important is to say the process of developing and changing, trying out and going back, going forward, is much more interesting in a way than the result.
At that point, we could invite our audience from all over the world. So we created a special interface, special page, web page, Lorenzo.org, where you could find all information of developing of the project. Really welcome all people to support this project and to join, to see it, to give feedback, because it's very important. It's not only to present something, even process, it's also about how to build dialogue together, how discuss different, maybe not always easy questions, in some way complicated questions, how to ask each other and how to remind to each other about our main value. So welcome and see 21 of May.